Hey everyone, before this video starts, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the Nashville, the Airbnb that we have stayed in and recorded all of these episodes in. This Airbnb is so amazing. Alex and Spencer have done such an awesome job with this. If you are coming to Nashville, make sure you check out this Airbnb. We were close to walking distance to downtown, restaurants, bars. Everything was so amazing and so cute. So make sure you check out the link in the description below and book your trip to Nashville. Thanks, guys. Hey everyone, welcome back to Beauty School Bobbi. Today we are in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm so excited to be finally meeting and finally in person with you. Jessica Williamson, the Regional Sales Manager for Bellami Hair. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You are such a surprise. I'm obsessed with you already. We've spent about an hour together and now I'm just like, I need to be a part of your life and you need to be a part of mine. And I'm so excited for this.
Same.
So I want to jump in and start. Just tell us a little bit about what you do in the industry and what your job is with Bellami Hair.
Yes, so I am the Regional Sales Manager for Bellami Extensions. I cover Tennessee, Kentucky, and Southern Indiana. So social media is like my mecca. I love engaging and reaching out to stylists, getting them into our certifications. And once they're certified, just kind of building the relationship, seeing what they need from me as far as like assistance growing the brand, how to get clients introduced to the services and everything.
Yeah. So you're doing a lot of classes. So I know you travel a lot. So how much are you kind of outside of Nashville on a regular like month, week? Like how's that usually set up for you?
It depends. I usually have 2 classes a month. So one of my classes will be kind of in the Nashville area, Franklin, and then it could be Knoxville or Lexington. I don't go too far, so there's not a lot of air travel, which I'm kind of happy with these days.
Yeah, definitely. That makes everything so much easier. But I know that Bellami has seen a pretty big growth over the last few years. So talk to me a little bit about what that's like for you. Like how many stylists are coming on? Do you know the numbers as far as like how many have been certified in the last year? How many you personally even were responsible for? Because even just in Knoxville, you know, where we are at, it's growing. Like it's like everybody's getting Bellami certified. It's kind of part of like post beauty school. It's kind of what everyone's doing now. So talk to me about those numbers and what that growth has been.
Absolutely. So this last few years, hair extensions as a category is probably the #1 growing category with all of the hair different categories that we can offer services in the salon. And I don't know if it's the shutdown being home and it's just like an instant gratification. It's one of those services that is so quick, but so life-changing for people that I think that's what's driving the sales. It's incredible. Like we have our sales meetings and we go over like the business and everything and our classes are exploding. I have, I'll introduce a class and they'll be sold out in 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's
insane.
So crazy. And so how are you keeping up with all of this? Like, is it a 24/7 job for you?
Yes. Yeah. With social media, it's trickier these days. Like back in the day, we didn't have Instagram. I would probably say 70% of my interactions with my stylists are on Instagram. So it could be 9 o'clock at night. Hairstylists are behind the chair. So they're working 10 in the morning till 9:30, 10 at night. So they go home, they have dinner, and then they reach out.
Yeah.
And then I'm already like, I've been up since 6 a.m. I'm so tired, but it bothers me. So it's like, I have to get back to them.
Yeah.
So
well, that's so important though to have, especially when you're newly, like when there's a salon that's newly offering this service, I'm sure that that's probably when they need you the most or like when you're going through. But I think what's really great, we just did that interview with Gina and she is an educator with Bellami. And so I think it's really cool the way that you all provide a different education. Yes, it's about hair extensions, but there's so much more. It's the business. And as you mentioned, like building the brand. And we were just before we started recording, we're talking about what we're doing on Instagram and what we're doing on Reels and TikTok and all of that stuff because it's changing. But for you to be that resource is so special. And to have that, I think that contributes a ton to the growth. Yeah. I think that I know that you're one of many that, do this, but in the different areas. But I think that is something that Bellami did right. I think that them offering those connections and those services and like for you to be available to them, I think that that's everything. I see it on the beauty school side and watching our stylists and our graduates and all of that stuff. stuff. You know, eyelash extensions are huge.
Yes.
And there's just these certain things that people are adding on or coming back to get certified for.
Yeah.
Hair extensions is by far blowing everything out of the water, though.
Yeah.
So do you think that, or what do you see kind of happening over the next little bit? I mean, I think that this is going to be a service that everyone ends up having done. Yeah. I mean, we were talking about like, I will always have like a single row in at this point. Like now it's just part of my life. Is that kind of what you all are expecting and seeing as well?
Yeah, it's so funny. So I've been licensed about 21 years now. And when I was behind the chair, hair extensions was a very rare service that was offered. And it wasn't for every clientele. It was just kind of like, I might get them if I have an event to go to and it's something temporary.
Right.
Where nowadays, I mean, every single salon has at least one stylist that's certified that offers, if not one method, multiple methods. Mm-hmm. And they don't have enough time in their day for these clients. It's unreal. People are, Instagram has blown up. People are seeing all these salons with this service and, their books are getting backed up. So then all these smaller towns are starting to pop up with, I want to offer them.
Yeah.
Knoxville, Nashville, all these stylists that I adore.
And all the small towns in between too are now offering this too.
It's amazing. So now we have people from the larger cities going out to the smaller towns to get extensions done because they can't get into the bigger cities.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's really awesome. So if there are any salon owners listening or stylists listening that are not extension certified yet, what is the benefit of adding this on? What can you tell them or what would be a reason for them to contact you or to reach out to add this on?
So definitely it's going to bring in new clientele. It's something that, not every extension client is going to be the long Barbie hair that's, super light, that wants that, that isn't a 20-year-old. There's a lot of women that are in their 50s where they just need something to fill in the front. Mm-hmm. We have, all the fashion colors are really in right now. So being able to offer something without damaging your hair for like a pop of color or more contrast is really popular. So I think looking outside the normal box of extensions, 24-inch down to your waist and thinking of different unique ways, men, filling in, thinness in the top of men hair. I mean, you would never think of doing that before.
Yeah.
But that is what these little niches are what is really growing the business for everyone.
Yeah, that's so incredible. And so if somebody was interested, they can reach out to you directly. Is that how it works with Bellami, or do you have to contact Bellami and then they put you with somebody? How does that work?
So they can DM me on Instagram.
Okay.
And then I can get them the information that they need to get an account, get into a certification, get some more information.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we'll link all of your stuff. Like if you're listening on the podcast, it'll be down in the section below.
Yes.
But then we also will link everything at the end too. So they'll be able to get in touch with you. So that's so awesome. And so Bellami is a company that you stand behind and that you love so much. I think in the United States, it is the number one. I mean, I feel like there's not even really a close second. I think what I hear, at least in the industry, is all Bellami. So that's all I've been hearing last year. So it's really exciting to have that contact now too. And I think what I've been able to see, and I think it's the thing that you love about this too, but seeing stylists making what they can make now. And that can be somebody out of beauty school or somebody that's been in the industry for 20 years is now adding on this service that they, never thought that they would do because it was such a luxury service.
Yes.
Especially, I mean, when I was growing up and everything too, I remember that being a thing that was just like not done. So I think it's really cool that there's that opportunity at whatever age. So the classes are 2-day certification classes, correct?
Yes, they're 2-day master classes, 9 to 5. Hands-on theory. They go over all the methods. You get certified. You get this amazing new kit that's on wheels that has all of your little compartments for each method. So if you're doing a service for the day and you need your hand-tied kit, everything's kind of put together so you don't have to haul around the kit if you don't want to. And it's TSA approved. So if you're traveling and you're doing on-site work, going to a client, you can actually travel with the case.
That's so
it's incredible.
Cool. So smart. That's brilliant. I love that. Well, good.
Brand new. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about you. I want to know how you got started in the industry. Because I know you said you went to beauty school a while ago, but tell us a little bit about that and how you decided that hair was the path that you wanted to take.
Gosh. Okay. So little girl, let's really rewind it back. Barbies. I was obsessed with Barbies. I was obsessed with styling their hair, cutting their hair, coloring their hair. I've always been like the little bougie girl in the sandbox in a dress that's filthy, like playing with the boys. I've always been like the oddest character. So in my 20s, I went to school to be a visual merchandising was my thing back in the day. So started to go to school for that, kind of changed paths almost to the end. I had a girl in one of my classes who I was in this career attribute class of some sort. And she was a hairstylist in Royal Oak. I'm from Michigan. And she was telling me how much money she made. And I was floored. I couldn't believe the amount of money this girl made. And I was like, a day? Like in tips, this is what you're making. And I was like, okay, I could do this. I think this is the path I want to go. So I enrolled in hair school, worked at a cosmetic counter, did the whole thing back in the day where you have no money, you grocery shop at CVS and, work at a restaurant. I was a Miller girl, anything I could do to make extra little side hustle money until I was done with school. And I loved being behind the chair. I was behind the chair for 15 years.
Wow.
A lot of it, I was in a departmentalized salon. I did color. I was on the color team. And that was an awesome experience. Learned the ins and outs of the salon. And then I worked in this larger salon in Michigan called Trico, and I remember the sales reps coming in from other brands like Kerastase or Orbe, and I was like, I want that job. I want to travel. I want to see different salons. I want to work with stylists. I want to do more of like the education business side of the salon. So I worked for a salon distributor out of Chicago for 7 years.
Wow.
And I sold Kevin Murphy, Unite, Alpha Parf, all the big brands, fell in love with it. Then I had my heart set on moving to Nashville.
Yeah.
I used to come here visiting a friend, and I loved my job so much in Michigan, but it was time for me to go to a new area and moved on out to Nashville, and here I am with Bellami.
So how did you get connected with Bellami? Was it what came first? Was it Nashville first and then Bellami, or Bellami first and then Nashville?
It was Nashville first. Okay. I was actually working for a brand, Colorproof, for a year and a half. And then during the pandemic, I actually lost my job. I was laid off because I was one of the last people to go on the team, which broke my heart. So fall of 2020, I was out of work, and I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
I was like having one of those moments where it's like, do I go behind the chair again? Do I, follow my dreams with makeup? What do I do right now? So I did a little time off, little searching, and out of the blue, I'm on LinkedIn and saw Bellami, and I was just like, I reached out to a lot of my friends that are still doing hair, and I said, tell me about Bellami, because I hadn't been behind the chair in a minute. And they're like, it is amazing. It's the best brand. We all use it. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to go for it. And yeah,
that's so awesome. I love that. Yeah. Was there ever a moment when that happened, when you got laid off, where you I made a mistake moving? Like, was there any moment, or were you like, I'm where I need to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I just need to figure out how to stay here?
Exactly. Something drew me to living here. Like, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, the friend that I moved down here with now moved back to Ohio.
Oh my gosh.
So like, I'm left here. My little buddy left, but it's just so interesting. It feels like home here. I absolutely love the South. Yeah. I love the stylists. I love the vibe. Everything about living down here. It's incredible.
I think it's really cool that you saw those reps in the salon and you were like, that's what I want. And like, here you are doing it. And sometimes the road can take turns, and you can be in these moments of like, okay, wait, this isn't going to happen for me. I wanted this and now it's not going to happen. But I think sticking true to the things that you want, because just even like I said, knowing you for the short amount of time that I've known you, like, you're so committed to your job. You're so excited about your job. Like, I can already tell that, like, if somebody called right now that needed you, like, I know that you're going to be there. Like, you live it. And that's so, like, it's like a part of you. And I think that is so awesome. And especially because you've worked so many different sides of the industry. Yeah. Do you think that those other jobs that you had help you in where you're at right now? It's almost like you can identify with the stylist so much more than if I just started working,
Totally. It's, even if it's like respect for somebody's time when you're going into a salon cold calling. I understand the front desk. I understand management. I understand what it's like if you're in the middle of doing someone's color, like you have to focus on that client. It comes in handy so many different ways, and how you speak to stylists, you know, the vocabulary you use, about other methods like the cutting, the color, it all comes together.
Yeah. Do you find that you're on a different level than some other people in the industry in that having that lingo, the language, and like having that? Do you think that it comes more naturally to you?
Yeah. I think it definitely comes in handy. There's moments where, you know, even if I'm in training and there's young girls in hair school, and I remember, okay, I worked in a cosmetic counter when I was in hair school, and I had a tricky time with undertones of hair. I had a really hard time grasping like what cancels what. Yeah. And I worked at a makeup counter, and I worked for prescriptives, and we had to custom blend powder and foundation, and it was all about the different primary colors and what you need to mix to get different undertones, and it clicked. And so sometimes, like with hairstylists, the way we think, you just need a little extra push. And it's almost like I kind of know what they're not understanding and how to describe things.
Yeah. I mean, it's so valuable.
Yeah.
Like, I think for you to be able to have that is such a great resource for the student.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I think for you to be able to give back in that way, I'm sure that helps also. It makes you like just love your job, I'm sure, a little bit more.
It's so fun.
So that's so exciting.
It's
so
fun.
Speaking about beauty school, one of the reasons that we do this show is because, you know, beauty school students just like have my heart. I'm around it every single day. So what advice could you give to somebody now being in this role in the industry? What advice do you have for somebody that's maybe new or maybe even thinking about coming into the career?
In the career, yeah. You know, learn as much as you can. Go into a salon that is very education focused and find a mentor, a stylist that you look up to. I can think of many throughout my lifetime that I worked for that were just respectful. They had patience. That's a huge thing when you look for somebody to like work underneath, and just watch their craft. Go in, you know, shadow people, ask questions. If you work in a salon that offers education, take everything. Yeah. Like as much as you possibly can. And then you'll kind of learn, you know, when we're cosmetologists, we can do so much. And we were talking about this. It's like, back in the day, it would be like Dolly Parton and Steel Magnolias. She does everything. She does nails, she does hair, she does literally everything, waxing. Where nowadays you find your niche and you become a master at that. Yes. So I think a lot of times people start out doing hair and they're doing everything. And you kind of learn what you like. You know, I personally do not like blow drying. I'm not good at men's cuts. I know this. And so I would focus my energy on color or on updos because I love like the creativity of it. So with extensions, it's like you can literally just do extensions. You can work your way, you know, start by, I'm not doing men or kids. I'm not doing women's cuts. I'm only doing color and extension clients too. I only do extensions and make over 6 figures easily. Yeah. Beyond the 6 figures. It's crazy.
It is really exciting. And I think that if you kind of like, you know, think back to remember beauty school, I think obviously in that time you are exposed to everything. Yeah. Like we're teaching you every single thing that you need to know in the industry, right? Yeah. But we always say like, pick up on those things that you love. Like I always, when I'm meeting with students that want to do aesthetics, I'm like, okay, you're going to have to go through full body waxing. Okay. Yeah. And at first they would be like, oh, but then they're the ones that are like, come see me, I wax everything. You know what I mean? And they're the ones that end up just like really going towards that. And I think that that's exactly what is important in cosmetology as well, is like leaving yourself open to say, you know what, men's cuts are not my thing. And I'm not going to torture myself my entire career trying to do this, but kind of focusing on what you want to do. So explain the makeup part of this to me. So when did that become, was it always your passion or was that?
And it's funny, I'll run into people from high school and they don't recognize me. I went to high school in the 90s. Yeah. So I was like grunge, you know, like flannel shirts, t-shirts, the real 90s, not the 90s that everyone tries to say. Yes, style is
not
now.
This 90s that's happening now.
The real 90s. And, the real 90s, baseball hat, ponytail, and I live 20 minutes from Canada. Like, long story short, it's funny though. And we used to you could go to Canada at 19 and drink.
Yeah.
So we would go, and it started with like the black pants from Express, which I worked at Express. I did visual, like their window displays at Express. So it started with like the black pants, and I was like, okay, lip gloss, lipstick. And I was like, that's what kind of got me when I was in school, when I ran into the hairstylist. I'm like, I can do this. I kind of dig this industry. You know, there's a lot here. And when I was in hair school, there was a mall close by, and I know I needed something to go to right after hair school to work. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'll work retail. I worked at Lord & Taylor in high school. I can totally do this. So I went in, and they're like, we have cosmetics open. And I was like, I don't know anything about makeup. I'm 23 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know a thing about makeup. And they're like, we train you. And then I went in, I worked for Prescriptives, and that's when they were teaching us how to custom blend, and I fell in love. I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. I love it. I love the instant gratification. And then I had always, you know, worked cosmetics full-time, hair part-time, full-time cosmetics, back and forth.
Yeah.
So it all coincides. Like, I love the before and after. Mm-hmm. I always have.
Yeah.
I love the process. I love seeing what you can do with something that's not, like shining it up. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think the makeup situation, I just adore it.
Yeah. It's so fun because there's just so much that you can do. What would you, I know you're not leaving Bellami or anything like that, but what would you do if you had to go back to one part of the industry? Would it be makeup? Would it be behind the chair? What would you do if, like, tomorrow you had to go back to one of your old jobs?
Probably makeup. Yeah. I love it. I still dabble with it. I just don't have a lot of time these days, but I absolutely love bridal parties. There's something about being a part of their big day. It's just so exciting. They're all so different, and you learn so much about these people in that small time you're with them.
Yeah.
I absolutely love doing bridal makeup.
I feel like you would thrive, and having you on a makeup artist, as a makeup artist on wedding day is like dream.
So
you'd be so positive, and like you'd be like the number one hype girl in that room, like making everyone feel so beautiful. I love that. Fun. Well, I love that you've been in so many different areas. And I think that's why I wanted to speak to you specifically, is like knowing that there are so many different options out there, that you're never in just like this little box of standing behind the chair in the town that you grew up in. Like, there is so much out there. And I think that the more that we can explore that and share a story like yours is so special. So thank you so much for being here with us today. Go follow Jessica.Bellami on Instagram. Make sure you're following us at Beauty and Style Network on Instagram as well, and me at Beauty School Bobbi. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you're getting notified when these videos come out, and we will see you next time, guys. Bye.